Hello frequencies, welcome back to Aspirants Frequency channel. In the series of economic survey of 2023-24, today we are going to see the 7th chapter, that is the social sector. In this chapter, there is not much concepts discussed here. There is more of data and organizations than the schemes which are mentioned regarding the health, education, then vulnerable sections are and their promotion. So let's directly get into this. Data organizations. First, the expenditure on social sector. Here it is mentioned that the expenditure from 2021 has increased to 8% of the GDP. Then in 2024, it is there is a little dip in the around to some 7.8 percentage of the GDP. This graph can be used for mentioning in the answers like the increase in expenditure on social sector, which led to the development of the uh, human capital, which can eventually lead to the reaping the benefits of the demographic dividend. Likewise, you can use these data. Then the Ujwala scheme, that is these are mostly the data of the schemes. The Ujwala scheme, that is the LPG gas connection scheme, around 10.3 crore women have benefited. Then the Swachh Bharat mission, under the Swachh Bharat mission, the open defecation has been the aim is to eradicate open defecation. So around 11.7 crore toilets have been built. The Jandan Yojana, that is the banking financial inclusion banking accounts, around 52.6 crore accounts have been opened under the Jandan Yojana. Then the PM Awas Yojana, that is housing to all scheme, which built around 3.47 crore houses. 3.47 crore houses. You know that the PM Awas is segregated into the rural and urban. You can know about that. Then the Jal Jeevan mission, that is providing tap water connection to every household, that is providing a clean and uh, sanitized water, which is also the goal of SDG. Kindly mention the SDG of clean water in the comment section. Under the Jal Jeevan mission, around 11.7 crore tap connection has been provided. In the Ayushman Bharat wellness scheme, which is providing life insurance or emergency healthcare financial benefit, around 6.9 crore admins people have been benefited under the Ayushman Bharat scheme. Next, the CSR, you know that the corporate social responsibility, that is around 2% of the net profit those companies who are earning their net profit. If there is a net profit greater than 5 crore, they have to spend around 2% for the CSR activities, which can be anything. Then the household consumption expenditure survey. It is a survey for how the in what are the areas the households are expenditure giving out their expenditure. For example, in this household expenditure way undertaken by the NSO statistical office, they took for food, consumables and services, and the consumer durables. These three goods are questioned from the rural and urban people separately, so that there will be a accumulation of all the expenditure. The monthly per capita expenditure, this is also the data which is mentioned in this report. The monthly per capita expenditure report for rural areas have increased to around 40%. In urban areas, there is an increase in 33.5%. And the another one interesting data from the monthly per capita expenditure is that in the last video we have seen about the Engel's law, that is when there is a decrease in food expenditure of the people, when there is decrease in food expenditure, there will be a decrease in agriculture. So this reduced food expenditure is, and the amount which is reduced will go to the non-food expenditure, like the electronic durables, then luxury, then leisure time activities. These are some of the non-food expenditures are in this household consumption expenditure survey of this report. There is mentioned that the overall expenditure of people has drastically moved from food expenditure to non-food expenditure. Kindly take a note of it. Then the monthly per capita expenditure for the state which has the highest per capita expenditure for a single man who is consuming more is the state of Sikkim, which is the highest, and the lowest is for Chhattisgarh. In the category of Union Territory, the Chandigarh has the highest value, then Ladakh has the lowest value. Then regarding the mental health, the National Mental Health Survey is undertaken and by the National Institute of Mental Health and Neuroscience Institute, which says that around there is an increase in 18% of mental illness among the people due to various reasons. For this to counter this mental illness, government is producing various schemes like the Kiran helpline, which is a 24/7 counseling or helpline number for those people who are handling with anxiety and depression. Then the WHO says that there should be a psychiatrist of around 3 psychiatrists per lakh people. It is a WHO's recommendation, but in India we have around 0.75 psychiatrists per lakh people, per lakh population. So there is a huge gap in the psychiatrists where people can access the mental health support from these people. So this data can be quoted for improving the capital expenditure on psychiatrists and their infrastructure development. Then the national achievement survey is getting decreased. The in this survey it is mentioned that there is less innovation is happening among the people. Then the IC report, this is the All India survey for higher education, kindly mentioned this for higher education. The report is released by Ministry of Education, which says the gross enrollment ratio is increasing and also the female enrollment ratio is also improving. The Global Innovation Index released by the World Intellectual Property Organization, which says India is around the 44th rank in the global innovation. Then the female STEM education, that is the science, technology, engineering and maths. STEM education, the World Bank says India has the highest STEM educated female population, that is around 42.7% STEM educated graduates are female people. So but if see, there is more education in the STEM courses, but the R&D is very low in the female segment. So the government has initiated around the Vigyan Jyoti program and the CSIR's Aspire program. Vigyan Jyoti is nothing but school students who are performing in the age, who are studying in the classes of 9 to 12, who are performing well in the STEM areas, that the science and engineering or maths group, they will be given free education in the STEM courses, that is the Vigyan Jyoti. Then the CSIR's Aspire program is for particularly focusing on the R&D, which is the CSIR. Under the scheme, the CSIR provides financial grants to R&D women scholars, female scholars, for carrying out research activities. CSIR Aspire program, so that there will be more females participation in the R&D initiatives. Then the multidimensional poverty, MDP, multi-dimensional poverty. There is a main question in the previous year somewhere. They're talking about the poverty and the measurement of poverty. There is the differences in the poverty measurement from rural urban, then the relative absolute poverty measures. So that now we are moving around from the absolute relative poverty, kind of measuring from the caloric value, then the income value, poverty is measured. Now we are going through the multidimensional poverty, that we are enclosing all the areas, that is the health, education, then the standard of living, which includes the some 8 categories. In the health we have child mortality, nutrition and the maternal health. In the education we have schooling years and the enrollment years. Then the standard of living we have these 3 are dimensions. Multidimensional poverty has 3 dimensions and around 12 indicators. These are the indicators, these 3 are the dimensions. Kindly note of it. There will be a prelims question regarding these numbers. So in standard of living there will be a clean water, then sanitation, then electricity, cooking fuel, bank account, floor and the assets. See, the global UNDP has around only 10 indicators. The same method of global MDP, multidimensional poverty, in India is also the multidimensional poverty of states are released, which has 12 indicators. The 2 indicators additionally added are the maternal health and the bank accounts holders. These 2 are the additional one. Kindly take note of it. MDB is mathematically calculated by the formula of A into I, which is the head count and the intensity. That is, head count is how many people are multidimensionally poor, and the intensity is how they are poor in according to the indicators, how intensely they are poor. Then the sex ratio is improving currently to 930. Then the maternal mortality rate is decreasing. Maternity mortality rate is nothing but uh, how many pregnant women who are during the pregnancy are dead due to per lakh population. How much maternal mortality is there for per lakh population in India? Around it is 47 per lakh population, so it is significantly reducing. Then the institutional delivery is consistently improving. That is, we have around 88.6% of the delivery, all the deliveries are done at the institutional supervision. So for this, the scheme was the Janani Shishu Suraksha Karyagram scheme, which promotes the institutional delivery and the financial supports to the pregnant women and maternal women. So that's all the data and organizations. Then the schemes which are mentioned here are the outcome monitoring framework released by the Niti Aayog, which is nothing but see there is a scheme. Then they have invested some expenditure for given some inputs. They are expecting some outputs in the numbers. So the scheme, the outcome monitoring, there is a difference between the output and the outcome. For given the input, you have getting some output. This is the output, but the outcome is, does this significantly improves their welfare even if there is no further input from the government. See, for example, instead of giving financial support every month for their basic amenities for children, if the government provides education, then this input will significantly diversified into a varied outcomes regarding the education, then the job professions, then the R&D activities which the child takes upon. Like, this is what the basic thing is. There is a difference between the output and outcome. So to augment this, the Niti Aayog is taking the outcome monitoring framework. That is, it is monitoring the central sector and the centrally sponsored schemes, how they are benefiting the people apart from the numbers or datas. Then the data governance quality index, it's like basically the how the data governance is being carried out in the states. Then the aspirational district program, aspirational block program, vibrant village program, ODF plus status. These are the basic things you are not. Kindly revise it. These things are already discussed in the previous videos. Kindly do check out those videos. Then the health part, I have segregated this into the categories of health, women, and education, the social sector. So which will be useful to revise when writing a particular answer regarding the health or a woman. In the health part, the mission Indradhanush, that is the universal, which is an universal immunization program for the particular. It has around some 7 vaccines for diseases including diphtheria, tetanus, polio, diarrhea, whooping cough, measles, hepatitis B, human influenza type B virus, tuberculosis, and Japanese encephalitis. Kindly do note these diseases and their vaccines, which will be useful in the science and technology part also. Then the PM Suraksha Bima Yojana, it's an accidental insurance. Then the PM Jeevan Jyoti Yojana, it's a life insurance scheme. Then PM Jan Arogya Yojana is a health insurance scheme. Then the Jan Aushadhi Kendras is nothing but providing generic medicine stores at affordable cost for reducing the pocket expenditure of people. Then the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, which is digitalizing the Ayushman Bharat digital mission is the digitalizing the health records of the people. Then the e-Sanjeevani, then the Manodarpan portal is the e-Sanjeevani is the telemedicine. This is one of the PYQ question in the prelims. Then the Manodarpan portal is for providing counseling to the mental health illness people. Then the mental health children, it is a case study like for improving the mental health of the children. The NCT Delhi government has taken the happiness curriculum. Then the Kerala government is also doing our responsibility to children program for improving the mental health of the children, which produces some significant results. Then the portion B, Padai B, which is taking the education care and the health care, portion B and the Padai B. It's a scheme which is mentioning the early childhood care and education of the children. This is basically the duty. It is also mentioned in the constitutional provisions of fundamental duties for children who are less than 6 years of age. There will be a compulsory education and childhood care. Then also in the DPSP there is a mention about the state should promote education as their policy for the early childhood through their schemes. Then coming to the women part, the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao is a scheme. Then the Sukanya Samriddhi scheme, which is the banking account scheme which provides higher interest rates for the female child, and which can be utilized for their education after a particular years, around some after than 10 years or 18 years. This amount can be utilized for their education or marriage purposes. Then the portion tracker, then the Mission Shakti is the program which particularly empowers the women for the working woman part. It has two components, that is the Sambal, which takes care of the security of the women through Shaki Nivas, for example, the women hostels. Then the Samarthya scheme, which is empowering through Palna programs like Anganwadi and Cree schemes. For example, if there is a working woman and she had a child, so for taking care of the child she has to leave her profession or job. So if there is a Cree scheme, if there is a childhood care center, women can leave their child there. So the people who are working here in the child care also get benefited from this, and the women who are working in the other professions also continuing their profession. So there is a cumulative enhancement in the society by these schemes like the Samarthya. Then the PM Matru Vandana Yojana is providing the financial support for first time delivery maternal mothers for their first birth. That is basically the wage loss compensation, that is women who are maternity benefit which the women are receiving during their delivery period. Then the PM Surakshit Matritava Yojana, there should be kindly know the differences between Matru Vandana Yojana and the Surakshit Matritava Yojana. This is a PYQ question last year. Then every 9th of every month, the pregnant woman have to take a free checkup for ensuring the health and wellness of the mother and also the child. Surakshit Matritava Abhiyan. Then coming to the education part, we have Samagra Shiksha scheme. Samagra Shiksha is the holistic scheme which encourages that early primary education, secondary education, then the teacher training programs. This is the holistic coverage of Samagra. It is cumulative of all the schemes. The Nishta, under the Nishta scheme, we have teacher training. Then the Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalayas, we have providing the residential school for disadvantaged people. Then the Parak is performance analysis, research and knowledge holistic is the National Assessment Center for assessing how the educational benefits are reaching the children, how they are improving in the aspect of their literacy and also the teacher training, how effective the teacher communication are happening. This is a monitoring scheme which is very important. Then Diksha, which is the knowledge sharing platform in online. Then the PM Shri model, which is the developing model schools based on the new education policy of 2020 PM Shri schools. Then the Ullas program for literacy for non-literates, for example, people who are non-literate who are greater than 15 years but they didn't have the primary education. For those people, they are giving the educational support for making universal literacy, the Ulla scheme, literacy for non-illiterate people. Kindly mention in the comment section the state with 100% literacy rate. Kindly mention in the comment section. Then the national credit framework, which is the providing a credit framework in the academic form of academic bank of credits. For example, if a student who are in the engineering course studying for 4 years, who studied for 2 years, first 2 years, and earned around 10 credits, these 10 credits can be stored in the ABC, that is academic bank. Then he can discontinue and pursue some other course in some other college for an year, and he can earn some 5 credits and he can store it in this academic bank of course this 5 credits. Likewise, the cumulative credits he is earning will provide the job opportunities in the market based on these credits, not just continuing a single course for a particular years. Then the Swayam portal is an open online massive courses, that is in the portal there is online courses for every subject which is free for the people for enhancing the digital connectivity and the inclusive education. Then the PM E-Vidya scheme, then the Anushashan National Research Foundation, which is the earlier the SERB board, which is the Science Education and Research Board, has been designated into Anushashan National Research Foundation for improving the R&D capacity of the nation. The Unnati program is for Manrega upskilling program, which is for people who are working in the Manrega programs, for providing them other auxiliary employment activities training. For example, construction, then weaving, then textile making or other agricultural marketing programs, for providing training for the people who are in the Manrega for improving their employment and also their income. Then the Lakpati Didi scheme around providing improving the women's income to 1 lakh per annum, Lakpati Didi scheme. Then the Nari Shakti and Vandhyana Abhiyan, recently the government has passed the 105th Constitutional Amendment Act, that 33% of all the seats of the parliament and legislative assemblies of state are reserved to women, 33%. After the delimitation commission, maybe the act has been passed, but after the delimitation commission there will be this act will come into force, I think. Then the rural governments, we have the e-Panchayat mission, then the e-Gram Swaraj, that is providing internet connectivity and better data governance in the panchayat level. You know that the panchayat under the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, it has been get into for improving the local self-government and governance. Then the Bhu Aadhar is providing the unified land parcel identification number, which is there is an area and we are classifying this area and providing creating a digital library of this area where this library can be easily accessed. For example, in the banks, when a farmer is going for loan purposes, when in the banks the PIN can be given to the bank authorities and there will be a faster dispersal of loans to the farmers, so there will be a faster data governance initiatives. Then the Swamitwa scheme, which is the drone survey of the lands. These are some of the rural governance measures which can be used in the answers. Then the case studies like the ADP model district, aspirational district program, or the aspirational, some examples have been discussed in this economic survey, which can be useful in our essay or some other answer writings. In Baramulla of Jammu and Kashmir, for tackling the malnutrition and education, people are taking because there is a colder climate most of the time, so it will be helpful for mushroom farming. People are taking up mushrooming farming so that there will be a higher income and that they will tackle the malnutrition and the education problem of their children. Baramulla district have been taking this program. In the Gumla district of Jharkhand, for tackling the anemia in the tribal women, the self-help groups are providing ragi cultivation, promoting ragi cultivation. If there is more ragi cultivation, for ragi cultivation there will be lesser input, so the farmers' income get increased, and also at the same time ragi as a millet, apart from the staple crops, provides nutritional benefits. That is, iron content got increased and there will be a anemia reduction. National Anemia Mission also has been there is a take a mention of it in the Gumla Jharkhand. This is the the context of the thing, which can be you can modify and use it in the answers. Then the slogans which are mentioned here are reach the last mile through the path of least resistance. Then the Jai Jawan, Jai Kishan, Jai Vigyan and the Jai Anushadan are the slogans mentioned here. So that's it for the social sector. Then we will see in the next chapter. Kindly, if there is any suggestions, kindly do mention in the comment section, and you find it a little bit informative in your UPSC preparation, kindly do share it with your friends so everyone get benefited from this. Thank you. See you in the next chapter.